And if you ever wear the 1000XM6s in a library, it is so quiet. I mean, you can't hear anything but your thoughts. This allows you to sleep almost anywhere because the active noise cancellation is so adaptive and on point. Remember how noise canceling headphones was all about how well they cancel the noise at the airport or on the plane? So let me answer your biggest Sony WH-1000XM6 question right now, because these guys are gonna fold and the hinges are actually stronger than you think, so they're not gonna just break right away because there's gonna be an additional metal ring on the headband that's gonna reinforce the hinge. And that's something different from what you saw on your 1000XM4s and 1000XM5. So these are gonna be stronger than before. Be a metal reinforcement ring. And that metal reinforcement ring, on the light color, it looks chrome, but on the black colorway, it will still be reinforced. So if you're looking at the Sonys and you're concerned about how strong this hinge is, I have been using it daily and I've been trying to break mine, right? I'm just being honest, I've been trying to break it, and I will tell you it is way stronger than what you are getting with the 1000XM5s, because obviously this does not have a hinge. And just because of the new curvature and how much less pressure it is and is wider, you'll find that this is gonna be better in the long run in terms of durability than what you would have got on the 1000XM4s. And one of the secrets of the Sonys here that you're not gonna hear a lot about is just how much more AI is being used inside of here. Because AI is being powered for the adaptive active noise cancellation and for the improved call quality. And if you remember from 2022, you might not have heard so much about ChatGPT. But in 2025, AI has taken over, as well as the training bases and those databases that these AIs are being trained off. So now on your 1000XM6s, this is now being trained off 500 million voice samples, and that's why it's so good at separating your voice from the environment. And it's the same reason why the active noise cancellation is so much better than before is also because these 1000XM6s are using 12 microphones. 12 microphones for the active noise cancellation and 6 microphones just for phone calls. So I have the active noise cancellation on these 1000XM6s without any music. And I can tell you right now, it is greatly reducing all of the ambient noise around me, including high, mid, and low frequencies, which is quite impressive comparing to any other active noise canceling headphone you've ever tried. And that's because it's using a QN3 chip, which is an upgrade from the QN1. And that is going to be 7 times more processing power than what you got with the QN1. And picking up your 1000XM6s, you'll notice that these are going to be not just have a tension headband, but it's going to be foldable and rotating all inside. So they basically took the 1000XM4's turn and twist principles. They took the tension headband as well as the top from the 1000XM5s, improved it so it's more cushy and plush. And now you have the tension headband that can also bend in and turn more easily all around. So, and you notice that if you're holding them all side by side together, you notice that 1000XM4s are very straight. Your 1000XM5s were pretty straight as well. The other thing is that if you're looking at this from the front and the back here, you notice that there is a curve. And that curve is going to apply less head pressure to your head than what you got on the 1000XM4s and the 5s. Because on the 5s, even though this had a little bit of a curve, it just is not the same as what you see on the 6s. The 6s are going to have a more dramatic curve, which allows it to fit your head better, especially on the right and left ear cup. So if you're looking at the case for your Sony 1000XM6, you'll notice that now they use a magnetic clasp. There is no zipper here, so you don't have to worry about any snags. You just have to pop this open, and now you have direct access to your headphones. And the 1000XM6 are going to fit snugly inside, and that's because they're going to be double jointed and they're going to be foldable, something you did not get on your 1000XM5s. If you hear that plane over my head, I'm going to put these on and the music's going to start playing. I cannot hear this plane at all. So on 40% volume right now, if you're hearing this plane above me, I cannot really hear it. It is blocking out about 95%. So if you ask me where this plane is right now, I wouldn't be able to tell you, but I can tell you that there's a plane here. You guys hear this railroad crossing? What we're trying to do is we're gonna test, can I hear the train coming or passing me by behind me? Because that's something that you're gonna experience it on your commute a lot. So can you hear the train? Can you hear these deep rumbles? Because that's the sounds that we normally are anticipating our headphones to be able to block out with their active noise cancellation. And we got our music at 50% on SZA Kill Bill. There's the train. There's a train coming behind me. I cannot hear it at all. I can't hear this train, guys. This is wild. Now, I got close enough, but the crazy thing is actually going to be if you use it with music, because in combination with music, this is where you start really not being able to hear anything around you. And it's going to be probably the best active noise cancellation that we've heard on any headphone, at least in my opinion, in the past 5, 6, 7 years. So we're going to do a little bit of a test here. Now, as you can see, I am inside of a squash court, and you can hear the pickleball playing. I'm going to try to count how many times this ball bounces. 1, 2, 3, 4. From the up top view, you'll notice that the headband shape has been reconfigured. So let's take a closer look. The headband on the 4 is going to be the most straight here, and that's because of the hinge position. You notice that on the 5, they went to the tension headband, and the 1000XM6s are going to have a wider headband, and that wider headband is really good for people with bigger heads. So I wear a hat size 7.5, and you can see on my head, it actually is much more comfortable. 1000XM6s is coming with Bluetooth 5.3, and it's coming with support for LDAC, SBC, AAC, LC3, and it's coming with the Sony Connect app. And if you're looking at the button position on the left side, you have your power button, and then you're going to have your noise cancelling ambient awareness mode button. Most of the commands can be just done by touch control. The controls for your 1000XM6 are super simple. They really mirror what you had on the 1000XM5s. So you have these swipe commands, and then you can double tap if you want to pick up the call or you want to play or pause your music. You can adjust it inside of the app in case you want to switch some of the controls, but overall, I'm finding that it is more responsive and it's going to work better on your 1000XM6s. The 1000XM6s, it is now coming again with the double jointed headband, something we did not get with the 1000XM5s. So one of the biggest complaints on the 1000XM5s was going to be storage, because there was no way to fold this in. It was just always had to be straight all the time. So not a huge difference on the ear cushion on your 1000XM6s versus the 5s. You notice that the plushness as well as the material is basically identical. It is going to be different than your 1000XM4s, which is coming with more a pleather material, and you can also see the grain versus no grain on your 5s and your 6s. It's really become like a hybrid where they took the best properties of the 4 and the 5 and they put it into the 6 with a lot of new features. And a new feature on the 1000XM6s is that you can actually pop off the cushions. So these are going to be removable, and that lets you see the driver, and you can see the larger driver here. It has actually been greatly improved over the 1000XM5s, and I absolutely adore and love how they make this removable so you can replace it, especially if it gets too squishy or it gets too wet from sweat. If you have another one, you can just switch them out and then go on your way. Also, it makes it easy to reattach them because it just clips right back in. And it was a lot harder to replace the ear pads on the 5s and the 4s, and you can see that's why they actually made the ear pad removal easier on the 6s, much like the Bose. You notice that the charging port on your 6s is going to be on the right side and the buttons on the left, and that's in parallel to the 5s where the buttons were on the right side and the charging port was on the left. So if you cup your ears, you can hear everything in transparency mode, which is quite convenient when you're traveling at the airport. As you can see, you can hear what people are saying, everything that's going around you. But then if you don't want to hear anything, you just uncover or uncup. Now you hear nothing. And honestly, even if you're hearing that super loud beeping sound and the plane flying overhead, it's not going to be that loud with the headphones on, and it is absolutely hard to explain until you try them. And I have to describe the difference between the 1000XM5's sound versus the 1000XM6's. In terms of overall performance, the 6s is going to have bigger bass, it's going to have a wider soundstage, the active noise cancellation is going to be better, and it's going to have a much more studio-like flat curve out of the box, which means it's really pleasing where all of the various frequencies sound crystal clear and very deep and rich. And that is something that I cannot say about even the 1000XM4s and 5s because these are really good, but this is really coming down to hitting that studio level quality. And if you're talking about the build quality of the headphones, I will actually say the 1000XM4 build quality was impeccable. The 1000XM5s was good, it's just that it had a lot going on. But the 1000XM6s, the build quality is even better. The seams, the material choices, the plushness of the memory foam, this cushion right here, it just feels more plush than before. And if you just do a quick headband comparison, you notice that your headband on your 1000XM4 started basically at the top of one side of your crown to the other. It didn't go edge to edge. So here, relatively plush and comfortable, and it's soft. Now, on your 1000XM5s, it actually went from end to end. So basically, as much as ear to ear as possible, it was plush. But on the sides here, it's going to be a more firm material. So right here, it's more firm and more firm right there. On the 1000XM6s, they added more plushness all around. So even on this area here, which is pretty firm, it's going to be softer than what you got with the 5s. And on the top, it's also going to feel a little bit more airy in terms of the material, in my opinion, than what you got with the 5s. If I had to list the reasons why the 1000XM6 is coming with better noise cancellation as well as better audio performance, it's really simple. It's coming with the QN3 processor, it's coming with much more microphones than before, 12 mics on your 6 versus 8 mics on your 5. It's going to give you better battery charging performance, not better battery life, but you can get 3 minutes of charge on these and it's going to give you 3 hours of playback. That is crazy even compared to its previous models, and it's going to have that foldable design, which is something that everybody has been asking for ever since they made this stiff design on the Sonys. The video, my review of the 1000XM5 just focused on the travel and how it was hard to put this inside of my book bag. The other thing about your 1000XM6s is that it's coming with 6 powered beamforming microphones. And if you remember, one of the biggest criticisms of your 1000XM5s was that the sound tuning could have been better out of the box. So that means when you first bought them and you put them on, they could have sounded better instead of you having to make significant adjustments inside of the app with the EQ. The thing that Sony did is that they actually improved the entire sound curve because they got their Sony sound engineers, their master engineers that record a lot of their audio from their music side to help fine tune how these sound. And I think we are really seeing some of that feedback come inside of here because these are sounding so close to studio headphones that I would actually say these could potentially replace some people's studio headphones. And maybe Apple's going to release a new version of the Apple AirPod Maxes that are going to rival the Sony 1000XM6s. Because right now I would say that the Bose here is going to be superior to your Sonos, to your Beats, to your Bose and other manufacturers because of the entire package. It is lighter, it is faster, it is better, call quality is very, very good now. They really fixed most, if not all, of the weaknesses here. So if you're wondering, the Hinge, I think this is gonna be the biggest question everyone has. You're gonna have to try it for yourself. I think this Hinge is gonna be quite strong and durable, but you'll have to try it for yourself and we'll test it with you. So with that, thanks for watching everybody. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comment box below. And please hit that like and subscribe button. It really does help support our channel. If you're gonna be purchasing these, please use our affiliate links just because it helps support our channel. And I'll catch you next time. This is Dave with the French Glow, signing off. Bye, bye, bye.